Like Pam said, my name is Crystal. You can hear me okay?
Yes, okay. I can hear you.
So my name's Crystal, AKA the Urban Herb Lady. And I am so excited to share with you guys tonight the fascinating story of Imhotep, the father of medicine. So I'll first show you a quick video about this great man, and I'll share more after the video. Run it, Ron.
A lie is a lie, whether it's in the university or in the church. How could Hippocrates be the father of medicine when the first time you see him, he is in Egypt learning medicine from Africans? There are numerous papyri, medical papyri on medicine. The nearest to Hippocrates is at least 1,300 years before he was born. For example, we have what is known as the Hettus papyrus, the Evers papyrus, and now the so-called Rockefeller papyrus, the Edwin C. Smith papyrus. All of these papyri go back to as early as 3100 BC. The man who Hippocrates took an oath that he would practice medicine according to this man, this African, whom the Greeks call Aesculapius in the Hippocratic oath, a man by the name of Imhotep. Imhotep died. He practiced medicine and died 2,500 years before the birth of Hippocrates. And you are telling me that the medical school and the pre-medical historians don't know this? They don't know it because, unfortunately, Imhotep had a high visibility like myself, otherwise called black. They don't know that the Ebers Papyrus by Hatshepsut, dealing with Planned Parenthood, I said Planned Parenthood, 1,550 years before the birth of Jesus the Christ, is out there. A lie is a lie, whether it's in the university or in the church. How could Hippocrates be the father of medicine when the first time you see him, he is in Egypt learning medicine from Africans? Imhotep died. He practiced medicine and died. Imhotep died. He practiced medicine and died 2,500 years before the birth of Hippocrates. And you are telling me that the medical school and the pre-medical historians don't know this?
Crystal, we can't hear you. Unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, sorry about that. So when I first learned about Imhotep as an adult, mind you, I was perplexed as to why why Hippocrates, a Greek physician, was revered father of medicine. You know, the guy who quoted that food by medicine, the author of the Hippocratic Oath, doctors recite on their wall in the doctor's office. Well, Imhotep, video says, was born around 2700 BC. Was practicing medicine 2,000 years before Hippocrates was born. Let's learn a few additional facts about Imhotep. Well, first of all, the name, the one, he was born a common yet a genius by nature. Imhotep authored the phrase, eat, drink, be merry, for tomorrow you die. He was an architect, step-parent, a physician, healer, astronomer, poet.
Crystal,
Yes,
can, your feed is coming in and out. I'm not sure if, do you have something or if somebody has another mic? Can everyone mute yourself? Maybe it's causing some distraction.
have everyone mute.
Okay.
Is that
Go
better?
ahead. Yes.
Where should I start? Do I need to rewind a little? Okay, so he was an architect of the step pyramid of Zoser, a physician, a healer, astronomer, poet, and mathematician. He performed and practiced some dentistry. He extracted medicine from plants. He understood the circulation of the blood system. Imhotep treated over 200 diseases, including tuberculosis, appendicitis, gout, gallstones, arthritis, and other diseases he treated were from the abdomen, bladder, rectum, eyes, skin, hair, nails, and tongue. And mind you, this is before BC. He also invented a way to map the stars 4,000 years before the inventor of the telescope. Now, this part is very interesting. Sir William Osler, co-founder of Johns Hopkins Hospital, right here in Baltimore, Maryland, has declared Imhotep, and I quote, the first figure of a physician to stand out clearly from the midst of antiquity. The Penn Museum in Philadelphia featured the story of Imhotep in 2016 in a lecture series entitled Imhotep, From Architect to Deity to Villain. And the villain part is in regard to how Hollywood would portray Imhotep, which was Sheila for entertainment. Professor Michael Zimmerman, a visiting professor of the University of Manchester in the UK, he conducted a biology seminar called Practicing Medicine in Ancient Egypt at Villanova University in Pennsylvania, highlighting Imhotep's contribution to medicine. So why did I choose this man to present? Well, to give you a personal story about myself, in 1990, I was diagnosed with a digestive disorder called ulcerative colitis, which is where you get ulcers in your colon. It said that it comes from stress, and I'm sure it was poor diet because my diet was horrible back then. And medication like prednisone and alzolfidine and other medications would make me feel strange, and I didn't like the side effects, right? So I went on a journey of learning how food and plants from the earth can heal the body. So let's fast forward to 2016. It was recommended by my gastroenterologist to remove my entire colon because several polyps were found in my colon. I was introduced right around that time to taking therapeutic grade ginger and turmeric. And when I returned for a follow-up colonoscopy, the doctor said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And my colon is still in my body today. So medication has its place. However, diet and herbal supplementation must work together. And I'm fast forwarding again to 2020. I'm also so fortunate to have been introduced to high impact and special patches by a company called Innovative Nutrition. And here are some of the different types that are dear to me. So for example, feeling anxious before a Zoom presentation or traveling on a plane, CBD patch does the trick for me. When I need energy, when working 10 plus hours on my feet, the energy patch, okay? And also For our multivitamin, I use the complete patch. The ingredients are from plants, vitamins and minerals, and I simply peel, stick, and go. So I hope my presentation of Imhotep was informative, and I plead with you to please respect nature and supplement with natural products such as the Innovation Nutrition Patches. And I'm thankful for this time with you guys tonight. And back to you, Pam.
I am so thankful, Crystal. I am so enlightened and I'm so informed, more so today, because I learned some things that we didn't learn in our history. And we have such a rich history and so much is not taught. And even when we know the truth, because of slavery, a lot of the things, credits and inventions and things like that, we know we didn't get the recognition because of the time. So it gives great pleasure to hear and to learn and continue growing. And we ask that you continue sharing. We're going to have more of these, so stay tuned. And and I appreciate your presentation. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. Okay, and so with that, we learned about, you know, the doctor of medicine. Now let's learn about where we begin. And this next person that's going to present is very special and dear to my heart. She's the reason why I'm on my journey. When I did my presentation about Harriet Tubman, and I said I'll call Across the Country, this is who I called, and she introduced me to the life of health and wellness. And her journey is such an inspiration. So I just have great pleasure in introducing my dear friend, my sister, Carolina Neal from Florida. And Carolina, if you can unmute yourself and get ready to do your presentation. I want her to tell who she's going to be presenting. Carolina, are you ready to unmute yourself?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Take it away. Take it away.
Well,
tell us who you are and who is your influencer.
I'm Carolina Neal Lewis, and my influencer is Marcus Messiah Garvey. And Marcus Messiah Garvey was born in Jamaica, St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica. He was born to his mom and his dad was slave. They were slave in Jamaica. He was the youngest of 10 siblings, and he's the youngest. Out of all 10 of them, only 2 of them made it, which was his older sister and Marcus Garvey. Okay, so Marcus Garvey, he went from Jamaica to Harlem, New York, where he went on with his passion of helping people, business, he had his own business. He was an entrepreneur where he did a newspaper. He had a newspaper, the first Black newspaper in New York, Harlem. And from that, he moved on where he was a speaker. He was not scared to speak up. So he went to different speeches where he speak to thousands of people, and he had thousands of followers. So Marcus Garvey was a great leader. Everybody look up to him. They turn heads when he speak. When they hear his voice, he turned heads because he was strong. His father was a slave in Jamaica. His mom was a housemaker in Jamaica, which his father, I identified with his father through my father, which was also a businessman, not in Jamaica, but in Central America, where Marcus Garvey visited Central America when he was 23 years, he went to Central America. That's my dad. My dad was a builder. He built houses, he built boats. So I put them together, and they were both Caribbean men that had high expectation of themselves. They love to help people. They love to build business. So they were great leaders. Marcus Garvey was great leader. So he moved from Jamaica when he was 23 years, and he lived in Harlem, New York, where he got married and then moved on to do, he had the first Starship, which was the Black Starship, and he had different fleets of that. That was one of his business. And the other business was the newspaper. And he had lots of business where he was he hired over 1,000 people in different business, in the laundry business, in the sewing factories, where people come, they made hats, they made clothes. So Marcus Garvey was he inspired people, he pushed people to do their best. And I identify with him and my dad because of the fact that they love to help people. They love to help their people to get more out of their life. And that's where I come in to, I look up to my dad, because my dad was never someone that had a job where he worked on someone's job. He always worked for himself. He always had people that he hired to help him to gain, to do what the building, and he also built boats. So for me, my business is with these patches. I move on with these patches where I help people to live up, to see better for themselves. In the other company that I was before, I'm all into natural stuff. I like natural stuff. I don't like taking pills. And for me, I was in a horrible car accident. So from that car accident, I was taking pills, but I couldn't swallow the pills. I had a lot of pain. Okay, so I was thankful and grateful when I came across these patches and used them, and they start working for me. Before the patches, I was taking the ginger and the turmeric. They work well for me also. But with these patches, the CBD patches, it also have everything that I need to help me not to bear the pain that I have to bear every day since my car accident. So my favorite patch is the CBD patch, which I use every day. And I also use the immune patch that goes on right now. I think everybody should be using the immune patch to help boost your immune system. And I also use the complete patch for all the different vitamins that you need for your body. Instead of taking these pills and the liquids and all that, you just peel it on, put it on, and go. So those are my heroes. Marcus Garvey, he was the first Black from Jamaica to New York that led marches, that led different, he spoke in different, he had people from all over the world listening to him, over 2,000 people listening to his speech. So he went on, he had ambition, lots of ambition, which I identify him with my dad, that they take a little bit and make a big thing. So they were great leaders, and I look up to them because I find myself to be the person that my passion is helping people. So because of the passion that I have and the passion that I have for these two people I look up to for all the stuff that they did, I find myself, I am just doing what I do with these patches. So I ask that you know, if you're on there and you don't know anything, if you have any questions about the patches, just reach out. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to Pam, you can reach out to whoever invite you here and learn more about the patches as we move on with our lives. It makes it much easier. All you gotta do is peel and go. Back to you, Pam.
Okay, well, thank you, Carolina. I know you get nervous when it's time to talk, and there was some major nuggets. I know one day you're going to share, because she has a testimonial of how God saved her foot. But that's her story, and like I said, she can only tell her story. And if you can hear it one day through her nervousness, she's going to share that story, and you
One
will
day.
see. Yes, I know
One
it's
day.
what I appreciate you stepping. It took a lot for her to step up, to speak up, and I appreciate your time and sharing your influencers in your life. And we thank you for that time and sharing and presenting. And so at this time, we're going to move forward. We also have one that has a great influencer. And one thing I can tell you, sometimes meeting people, it's amazing how getting into business and meeting friends of a friend. And this is one of a friend that I've met. And it's just so wonderful to be able to develop a friendship from someone else that's not in our lives, at least not in mine, but out of a friendship, I gained a partner. She's always on, she's quiet. She's a quiet giant. I love her spirit. She is very into health and wellness. She's full of information. She's, like I said, she's very quiet. She just like stealth, but she gets it done, and she's consistent. And I'm looking forward to hear who your influencer is, Sherry. So I would like to take the time to introduce Miss Sherry Taylor. Can you tell us who influenced in your life and why you are picking this person? Tell us who you are and the influencer in your life. Take it away, Sherry.
Hello, my name is Sherry Taylor. I go by Nubian Queen on other platforms. And I'm also in the state of Connecticut. I think that my family who's online, when you say that I'm very quiet, they're kind of laughing like, who are they talking about? When it comes to this arena, I do sit back and I listen and I observe a lot. So the person that I chose for this evening is Dr. Sheila Johnson. She's a mother, a wife, a CEO, and a philanthropist. She's also a self-made billionaire, and she's a co-founder of BET. Some of us might know the channel BET that was started years ago. And she's also now the founder and CEO of Salamander's Hotels and Resort. She's the innkeeper, and so she describes herself as being in her third stage of life. And she said, and she's also a sports owner of the Mystics girls basketball team, which I was surprised about that. And I had to look that up because I live here in Connecticut, and the town that I grew up in is called Mystic, Connecticut. So I was trying to think, but it's not anything to do with New England. It's in a different state. And she's also said to be, she reached billionaire status, and, not to get into a debate with anybody, but she was actually a billionaire before even Oprah. I was going to say the big O, but we all know the big O is Oprah. So when you talk about her 3 stages of life, she said that her first stage was a teacher. She was an author, and she was also a violin instructor and a decorated musician. Her second phase was being the co-founder in the BET, of the BET network with her, then at that time, her husband, and they're now divorced. So that company, they built it up, and then it was sold to Viacom in 2002. So she's now in her third phase, which is being the founder and CEO and the innkeeper of Salamander Hotels and Resort, which is a really, really beautiful, from the pictures that I've seen, the hotel and the resort. So she's really into health and wellness. So that was another reason why I chose her, because she's into health and wellness, which is what as you can tell from here, the theme of this is health and wellness for us. And she's a businesswoman, and I like that a lot. Her father was a neurosurgeon, and was not allowed to practice in white hospitals back in the day when he was doing his practice. So because of that, even though she grew up in, the central Chicago area mainly, they moved, she said, every 10 months because her father was only allowed to work in veterans hospitals. And my husband and I are both veterans. My family is a veteran. So that really kind of, was very interesting fact also. So she says that during the process of building the Salamander Hotel, she met a lot of resistance being a Black female. And then she said that it was almost like a 10-year journey after purchasing the land to actually get the place up and running. So the town that she, a beautiful town in somewhere in Virginia, that she purchased this land, this farmland, the people really didn't want her there, honestly. And she said that they actually made her go into negotiate to work on the water filtration system there. So in other words, they wanted her to be totally invested in that town. And they weren't quite sure if they wanted to see that much diversity come through there. So she conquered all that, invested in their water system. And she said that whenever she would go to do her business, check on the property and go in and out of that town, there was this little gun shop there in that town that had a Confederate flag that they flew in this little town. And so she said that what she finally ended up doing is she bought that shop and then she took that flag down. So that gave her great pride and a sense of accomplishment, that she was able to be in the position to buy the shop. If you don't like something, change it, So when it comes down to business, she said, I love her tenaciousness. She was very triumphant. And she said, never give up on your dreams. And I already said that I like the fact that she's really into health and wellness. She even has a really beautiful spa in her hotels and in her resort. She named her company is called Salamander. And she did that on purpose. She said that she heard that when you buy a farm from somebody, you don't want to change the name. You kind of want to keep the name of whatever the original name was of the farm. It's supposed to be bad luck, she said. So she contacted the owner who was there before her, and he said, absolutely not. So she went to the owner before him, and he just happened to be a war veteran. And she said, well, what was the name of the farm when you had it? And she said, it was called Salamander. And then she got permission from him to use it. He said, well, I first must tell you the story. He was a war veteran. He got shot down, and he actually escaped. And the United States government found him living in France somewhere and said, okay, we want you to go back in and conquer and help the men that were on your team to bring them back from captivity. So he did that. And he said that he named his farm Salamander is because it's the only animal, actually it's an amphibian, in case my kids are on here, they're not gonna say it. And it can go through fire. So that a salamander can run through fire and it can actually live. You can chop off its tail, you can chop off its arms, and it will regrow. So resilience, when it comes to being in business, no matter what wall you bump up into, you need to have resilience and just be able to bounce back. So she said that during the pandemic, one of her interviews, she says, take a deep breath, don't panic, and embrace other people around you, by keeping an excellent communication. So we all know that in business, you have to have good communication. And I just want to end by saying my favorite patches, being the businesswoman that I am, is complete, immune, and energy. And now I'm going to hand it back over to Pam.
Okay, wow. I'm telling you, I've learned so much tonight. Thank you so much, ladies. I am so happy that you guys did an excellent job. And I am just thrilled. We've learned so much and we want to keep it going. And as you see, those that are coming on here are guests. I hope that you come away learning something new, something that you never heard before, or some things that you've heard, but you've had more in-depth information. And I know I did. So I just appreciate all you ladies. You did an excellent job. And we have another team coming up next week. So get ready, team, next week. You guys have some tough shoes to fill. And we are so grateful and thankful for you all that came on here. At this time, I want to give it over and give Cynthia. She is our team boss lady. And I want to give you an opportunity to come on and say a few words, Cynthia. what can you bring to the table? I'm passing the mic to you.
Wow, wow, wow. That was fantastic. Let's give them another round of applause. I tell you, I learned so much tonight, especially with crystals. I had never heard of him. And just learned so much about Marcus Garvey as well. Great job, Lena. And I loved how you compared and said, both he and your father inspired you to be the businesswoman that you are. And so that's what it's all about, you guys. It's just having that inspiration, to keep us, putting one foot in front of the other. And then Sherry, wow, the quiet storm. I tell you, that was powerful. And I, definitely know about, the hotel and spa, and because it's not that far from the DC metro area, and Sheila Johnson, powerful businesswoman. And so you guys, you did such a phenomenal job. I tell you, you're right, Pam. The ones coming up next week, every week the bar is just getting higher and higher. And this is so, so fantastic. And thank you to all of the guests, man. I tell you, we've had, about 23, 24 people on tonight on Valentine's night, which is so phenomenal. And so you guys, it's all about wellness. It's all about health, because I tell you, we say it all the time, but until you're not feeling well, you really don't latch on to, that health is our wealth. You can't do any of these things that we're hearing that these leaders have done, throughout the ages, if they did not have their health. I mean, life can come at you fast anyway. And so you guys, we're just happy that we have found something that you don't have to swallow. It's not a liquid, you just peel, stick, and go. And so if you don't know about these amazing patches, I'm going to just encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom and say, tell me about this peel, stick, and go. Because you guys, most people have problems with their digestive system. And even if you're taking good, products, good supplements, good, natural plant-based, supplements, most people are only absorbing a small percentage of it. I've heard people say, I would love to take vitamin C, but I'm allergic to it. But what people are finding is these, 1 by 1 inch patches, you guys, that it bypasses the digestive system and it goes straight into the bloodstream. So it's like you're wearing an IV all day long. And so people are feeling their best. They're looking their best. You guys, we have 8 patches that are just patching up people's lives. You heard about the energy patch, but it's more than just energy. You guys, they had to name these patches something, but, and so they picked something, like energy, but it's more than energy. It's smooth energy. It keeps you going all day, but it's focus and it's mental clarity. Then you heard them talk about CBD. If you don't know about CBD, and our CBD is THC free. It's the healthy without the high. If you don't know about CBD, please Google CBD, you guys, and you will see that it, helps with everything from A to Z. Man, I tell you, it is the hottest product out there. And then you heard them talk about the vitamin patch with the omega-3 fish oil. We gotta have, the vitamins, you guys, so that we can keep doing the things that we have been assigned to do in this thing called life, right? Then we have the kids patches that Pam is holding up. These kids, they're talking about taking them back to school and everything like that. There ain't no way that I would send my child back to school without these patches. And, they can wear all the patches. You just cut them in half, but they have a patch that is designed just for them. And then we have the immune boost patch. Are you kidding me? You guys, you heard about ginger tonight. You heard people mention turmeric tonight. Well, this patch, this immune boost patch, it has ginger, it has turmeric, it has 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, it has vitamin D, it has oregano leaf, it has organo, olive leaf. And so you guys, we are so excited because again, it's going straight into the bloodstream. And then I see Pam holding up the sleep patch. There's so many people that have sleep issues. But again, this is more than just sleep. We're telling people, even if you don't have sleep issues, you need to, wear this sleep patch, because I tell you, it puts you in that deep sleep where your body will heal itself, where you will dream in 3D color, and, people just love it. They wake up before the alarm clock rested. A lot of us are asleep, but we don't get that good rest. And then we have our weight management patches called Ignite. Oh my goodness. Did anybody pick up a few pounds that they want to get rid of? Well, this is a 2-patch weight management system. The first patch curbs the appetite. The second patch balances the hormone. You guys, it does so much more than weight management. People who are diabetic are having such good results on the weight management. Why? Because it's balancing those sugar levels and so forth. And then we have the Infinite. How many people have heard about collagen? I'm a business owner. I own a salon. Collagen, second to CBD, is the hottest product out there. It clears the skin. It grows the nails. It grows the hair. You guys, those are our collagen patches. And so get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom. You guys, you got to peel, stick, and go. I'm telling you, you're not getting what you need from the soil that our food is being grown in. It's over processed. Even when we swallow good things, our bodies are not digesting it. And so this, you peel a 1x1 inch patch, you stick it, and you guys, you are ready to go. And so thank you so much, you guys, for this phenomenal Zoom. We'll be here again next week at 9 p.m. We won't be competing with the Super Bowl from last week or Valentine's Day this week, but I want to give all of our participants a big round of applause, our presenters. We appreciate you, you guys. Take heed of this information and let's go. Back to you, Pam.
Yes.
All right. That is such a wonderful presentation. I am so pleased with what we have and what we have to share. And we thank you all for taking the time out, spending time with us on your Sunday. Yes, one love. We love you for your participation. We hope that you come back next week because we have more influencers that we want to present. We hope that you bring a friend, invite a friend, family member. This is a family affair. There's no age limit. We go from the womb to the tomb. So stay tuned. We'll be back to you guys next week for sure. All right. And I hate to leave without giving you guys an opportunity. Did anyone have any question or a comment? This is a time to open up the floor. I said I would give you that opportunity. So just please unmute your mic and tell us who you are and present your question or comments. Please unmute your mic.
I'm Trinity from Oklahoma. Crystal, that was a great presentation. I didn't even know anything about the doctor you were talking about. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Kudos to you for that. I didn't even know that. So I'm doing some research on that doctor.
Right.
That's what it's about, to open a mind, make awareness, bring awareness. And I tell you, Crystal, you have definitely enlightened us, and we are wiser today because of it. So is there anyone else that has a comment or question?
Pam.
Yes. Hey. Hi, Abe.
How you doing?
Abe, thank you for coming to the line.
Okay. The one that talks about Marvin Garvey.
Uh-huh.
Let her know that Malcolm X during the 60s, before he left the Moth, was influenced by him. And he created
Yes.
the Black National Party. It was a civil rights movement back in Harlem.
Yeah.
Yes, he
And
was.
the
Yes,
reason
he
why,
did. Yes, he did.
that's right. The reason why, because I was a member.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was
So
a
we
member
got
of the
a
Black
okay,
National
cool.
Party that,
Okay.
Malcolm X created.
Oh, wow. Well, wonderful. I'm gonna have you on here. Abe,
Ah,
just so you guys
awesome.
know, Abe, he's my sensei. He teaches the Tai Chi class here in Palmdale, and he's all about health and wellness. He's one of the legs of my legacy of getting back to my health. I couldn't walk. I had a hard time moving. Abe will tell you with my back issues, but that's another story. But I appreciate your comment and thank you for coming on and your support. And like you
Thank
said,
you.
Garvey had so many. I'm Black Panther,
So
all
many.
of them. You know,
The-
you'll be all night
He
talking
was an
about Martin.
influencer to all the others, including Martin Luther King.
Right.
Yeah, but
right.
the Muslim movement didn't
Was
like
because of
Garvey.
him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Back
He
in the
was
60s,
influence
they
of the
didn't like
national.
Garvey because of his influence.
right.
Mhm.
He was a threat.
Yeah.
Well, but I hope that those that are on this line, you have something to go and research. The information
Look
is
him
so
up.
easy to
Yeah.
find. YouTube, you can find a wealth of information. The doctor of all doctor in Lethu. I'm messing it up, Crystal, but I know I'll spell it right because I'm going to look it up. Okay. But, okay.
Oh,
Pam.
one more
But-
thing.
Yeah.
The guy, the Tupac, who was the first in medicine, it was Rome that prevented them to bring out his history.
Yes.
Mhm.
During when Rome occupied Egypt, they made it certain that certain people would not be mentioned because Rome had Black slaves.
Yes.
And to have freedom Blacks that had high positions was a threat to the Roman Empire.
Mhm.
Sounds
And
familiar.
Marcus Garvey was one of them, correct?
No, Marvin Garvey, what he was a threat to the Muslims. In the movement, Malcolm X started in the Muslim movement. He dropped the Muslim movement and started his own national party.
And that came from, that was where Marcus Garvey was his influence of the Nation of Islam, not Islam, but the Nation of Islam.
Nation of Islam, yes.
The Black
When he
Panther.
went to Mecca, when Malcolm X went to Mecca and he came back, he saw what the real Muslims was about.
Right. Okay.
And he found that the Mecca in Harlem was wrong. They tried to suppress Malcolm X. When you read his autobiography, you will find that Malcolm X said that the Muslim party was wrong. When he got a hold of Malcolm Garvey, Garvey said he should have his own national party.
That's the reason why they didn't like him, because he was a threat to all of them. And America thought that America felt that Marcus Garvey was a great threat. So they plot against him, and they came up especially with the Black Starship, and from that they deported him back to Jamaica.
Okay. Well,
because the party got kind of strong.
He was in Jamaica for I believe it was like maybe 4 years, and then from there he went back to England, where he died in England.
Yeah, his party got kind of strong. A matter of fact, Malcolm Garvey was one of the main influence of the Black Panther movement.
Right. Yes, he was. He's the one that came up with the paraphrase, "Black is beautiful."
Yeah, he was the one that started the idea Blacks should unite.
Right. Regardless of what
freedom is power.
Kings,
Oh, Yeah, you two will go back and forth. I feel like I'm at a tennis match. So but we'll be here all night. 'Cause
No,
like
it's
I said,
so good.
he's such an awesome leader, and he's a huge influence over all of our,
He
a
is.
lot of our history. And so I think I heard Monique. Did I hear you on the line, Monique? Were you saying something?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, Pam and everyone. I just wanted to say
Morning.
thank you for
Thank you.
inviting me.
Yeah.
So, it's always
Hi,
good to
Monique.
hear about our rich history and our culture, even if it's something that we've heard over the years and we know. It's always good to just hear those reminders again, and kind of makes you go back and just revisit them to kind of just re-energize your thoughts, your own pathway, and things like that. So it was really good just hearing some of the things that haven't heard in a while, and then of course some new things. The Salamander, I wrote it down as one of the places to visit, because we're travelers and we're always looking for something new to do and someplace new to go. And hearing that it's the only amphibian that can survive fire, that kind of gives us something to think about, because we all go through a lot of fire each and every day, whether we know it or not. So have something to look to for inspiration. But at the end of the day, this was a really good way to end my day and to hear all the inspirational information. So thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so happy to see. I have not seen my girl in 20 years or so. Monique, has it been? And we reconnected recently. So I am so grateful that you made it to the line. You promised you'll be here. And of course, I'm gonna send me your address, because I got something special I want to send to you and any of my guests on here. If I can't get you, please text me, send me your address, because I want to tell you thank you by sending you a small gift, appreciation of spending time out, coming to hear about our products. And Monique, I'll be sending my site out to you, because I know you're interested in getting some help, the information, and maybe even trying the product. So I appreciate you spending time out coming here. It's good seeing you. I can't wait till you get back in on this side of the town in Cali, and we'll hook up physically when the COVID is over, I'm sure. So, but I am so thankful for all of you guys for participating, asking questions. We appreciate you coming and spending your Sundays here. We will be back here next week, same time, same station. Tune in and let's talk about next. Let's patch it up and let's have a beautiful week.
Background. Ron.
Who is that?
Then let's thank Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
I wasn't done. I can't leave Ron out. I'm in the middle of saying it, ladies. Give it a chance. I will never leave Ron out. He's the one that make this possible, because he's the engine behind this train that's moving. I appreciate his input. We are learning together, and he's making leaps and bounds of running these Zooms. We appreciate you, brother. And you deal with these women, our last minute,
thank you very much.
slides and things, but we thank you for taking the time and working with us and always being on deck and being the support that you are. I appreciate you so much. I really do. And Cynthia, thank you for your being here. And Ron, if you have any words that you want to say anything, or
yes, happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Same to you.
And enjoy the rest of. I got a couple hours left, so I'm gonna go try to enjoy what I have left. Have a good evening.
keep the wife happy, okay?
Yeah. I'll slap a patch on her. She'll be all right.
Okay. Put her to sleep. Give her a sleep patch. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. All right. Have a good evening.
Have a good week.
Happy Valentine's. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Bye. Bye.